What is up, RotoGrinders? Got an hour of nonstop NBA DFS conversation taking you all the way up the lock. It's just a 4-gamer tonight in the association. There are 6 games being played, but DK and FanDuel, they came to agreement. They said, you know what, let's not talk about the Hornets and the Clippers. This tips off 10 o'clock on the East Coast, as well as the Lakers and the Kings. We get a 4-gamer, not exactly a sprint slate, because game number 4 of 4, Brooklyn and Dallas, is an hour and a half after the first game, 7 o'clock on the East Coast. Exactly a sprint slate. And Cleveland, and I just realized I have my YouTube up. With, of course, you guys are watching us on YouTube. Hit that like button, do subscribe, turn on those notifications, and I realized that I had the voice on as well. So I was just talking to myself. That threw me off. Hopefully, you guys did not hear that. But that was.
I was going to say, I think that was me, but was it you too?
Oh, was that you? Okay, never mind. I heard it, and I made that mistake before, so I just assumed that was me. I got flustered. I'm like, oh wow, I did that again. I thought I took care of that before the show, but the voice you heard. I guess you might have heard me, but you definitely heard, Noto chiming in. That's Notorious, one of the OGs. Notorious knocking out the core plays forever. Today's 4-gamer joining us as well. Producer extraordinaire, giving some content, giving some analysis. TJ's Warich, one of the greatest DFS players in all of Saskatchewan, Canada. And that's Noto, one of the greatest players in all of Utah. Not just Salt Lake City, all of Utah. Take that, Provo. I don't know why I'm sticking to Provo, Utah.
So I don't get all of Saskatchewan, but Noto gets all of Utah?
I mean, Notorious has been around longer, to be fair. I think
there's much more. I got to assume there's quite a few more people in Utah than in Saskatchewan.
I don't. Well, yeah, probably.
Utah 3.5 million, Saskatchewan 1 million. Come on.
Okay, well, okay, maybe I said one of. Did I say Noto's the best? I might have said Noto's the best. He quite possibly is.
I'll concede Noto's better than me, but 3.5 times better than me, Dean. Come on.
I did not know there would be math. But yeah, I think if you said I was one of the greatest DFS players in all of Florida, I would be flattered. My face would turn red. I would say, "Wow, that's really nice of you to say. Yeah, that's really kind of you to say." You get offended though. You want to be number one.
There's 24 million people in Florida.
Well, now you're bringing technicalities into it. We should be getting a fresh batch of injury report stuff. I don't know if we're going to get new news or not, but we should get something at 6 o'clock. I'm refreshing right now, but I imagine it's basically the same we've had for a while all day. Nurkic officially good to go. We're expected to play tonight for the Jazz. We're assuming Jaylen Brown's not playing. He's officially doubtful, I suppose. There's a chance, but it seems highly unlikely. Jaylen Brown goes. Sam Hauser is questionable too. Brown opens up, White and Pritchard as 2 of the top plays on this slate for the Pacers. Nembhard is expected to play. He's available. This back. Mathurin is out with his thumb. Back half of back-to-back for Philadelphia. They also played an overtime game last night, that Philadelphia-Toronto game. It really got loose. Players played a ton of minutes. Embiid officially questionable. He's old. He's got a knee. He's got a couple of them. Paul George also old with his knees. He was a late scratch as well. RJ Barrett still ruled out for Toronto. We're waiting on Brandon Ingram. He's questionable with that thumb. He's missed several games with that thumb. Yogan. Oh God, why am I forgetting the guy's name now? For Brooklyn is not playing tonight.
Yogurt for Brooklyn.
Demon. Cam Thomas.
It's not Demon. It's Yamor Yogan. Yogurt. It's not yogurt. I don't know why I want to call him yogurt. It's not Demon either. It looks that's who I'm talking about though. It's not Demon. It's Yegor. Yegor is his first name. I can't believe I'm forgetting how to pronounce his last name, but it is not. You would not guess it. You either have to know or you don't, and I forgot.
I don't think it's yogurt.
No, it's definitely not yogurt. It's definitely not yogurt. I'm wrong too. To be clear,
on Brooklyn.
Yeah.
It's pronounced. It's spelt Demon. I think Dean's saying that's not how it's pronounced, though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's spelt that way, but it's definitely not pronounced that way.
You're talking about somebody completely different. I'm like looking through their roster. Like, I don't see any Y's.
My bad. I didn't mean to make that confusing, but I know I did. I confused myself as well. I think it's Yeoman. I think it's Yamor Yeoman.
Okay, that's how you pronounce it.
I think so. Give me the phonetic spelling, TJ. I think that's kind of where we're at. It doesn't matter. He's not playing basketball tonight. Neither is Cam Thomas. Dallas, the brow, Anthony Davis. I'm not going to see him for a while. He's out. Gafford got a downgrade. He's questionable if he doesn't go. Maybe Cisse gets fired up to some degree. Maybe he plays 20 minutes or so, and that is the 4 games. Well, you know what? Oh, I should ask. Should I mention? Is it too soon? No. Is it too soon? Should I not ask? I shouldn't ask, should I?
No, I mean, it's still more than the last little bit. It's like the first time I've been interested in a game I didn't have money on in years, finally got invested and, took the lead twice in the fourth quarter. I think they had the most fourth quarter lead changes ever in a playoff game.
Wow.
Didn't know for one more there at the end. But, yeah, it was a great game. I like the Bills, too, so I'm kind of hoping they make a run. But, yeah, it was fun watching them. And I had zero expectations heading into the season, so can't be too mad about it.
Yeah, overall, it's a big W for Duval this season. I thought you guys caught a huge break when Buffalo scored with a minute to go. It's like, wow, I cannot believe all they got to do is like fall forward, don't score, but move up a few inches up and then score with like 10 seconds to go or whatever. And they gave T-Law a chance. And you had the best kicker in the business who can kick field goals from like the 30 or something, basically. And it was anticlimactic. Just one play. We never really saw him, the 2-minute drill, 1-minute drill, whatever it was. But yeah.
Naturally, the guy I've been hating on all year on our football show tips it up and causes the pick. So,
is that what happened? Who tipped it?
Jacoby Myers.
I didn't see. I saw the tip. I didn't realize it was self-tipped. I thought it was.
It was mostly the defense, but it was to Jacoby, so I blame him.
Am I right to say that Buffalo might have tipped the ball like 8 times yesterday? I feel like the ball was tipped a ton.
Felt like a ton, yeah.
Yeah. TJ, you have any takeaways from the football this weekend? I guess you don't have any direct ties necessarily.
No, just that we were pretty blessed with how incredible all of these games were. That last one was maybe the least exciting of the group, but it was still a good game. And just the full wild card weekend so far has been wonderful. Doubt today can match that, but we'll see. You never know.
Yeah, we got beer and chop on the showdown game tonight, 7:30 on the East Coast. If you're playing that, I'll be dabbling. Sure, why not? But yeah, I don't have a lot of expectations, at least from a watchability perspective. I did see, or I think I heard that going into that 5th game with New England, there was no game that was in double digits at any point all weekend, I believe. Like they were just all close games throughout. So it was good. The football was good this weekend. All right. So 4-gamer. We'll go game by game, then we'll circle back and we'll go position by position because, again, this is an extended version of Grinders Live. I guess it's a shortened version of Grinders Live, an extended version of Crunch Time, somewhere in the middle, I suppose. Do I look like I have a ball cap on? Oh, yeah, I have. That's right. I was talking about a pre-show with you guys. Yeah, shout out to Air Bud. I reset my computer, and my RotoGrinders banner didn't automatically pop up, and that was up against the clock. And I'm like, well, there's Air Bud. We'll give Air Bud some love. That's, of course, is from 7th Inning Fetch. All right. What do you got, TJ?
Of course.
Yeah. Well, who doesn't know that? Everybody knows the anthology of Air Bud movies. TJ, you want to give me an overview how you're attacking the slate? I assume you tell me otherwise. You're going to be MMing. That tends to be your MO, your modus operandi. You tend to fire off at least 20 lineups. Is that what we're doing tonight?
Yeah, 150 for NBA and doing that again tonight. So I'm going to obviously be heavily attacking Boston and Cleveland. And I'm probably it's going to be one of those days where we have 2 teams that are going to be really chalky. Do you try and fade it or go underweight? Do you double down? And I'm going to be doubling down on both of them.
What are you waiting for news-wise? Because there's a chance your shuffle is going to change as far as your player pod. What are we waiting for as far as the news? We have some questionables out there. We're assuming Jaylen Brown is not going to play with him being doubtful. Philadelphia back half of a back-to-back. Embiid and George, those guys are old. Running it back here against the Raptors. Is there one thing you're kind of waiting for news-wise?
Well, there are a couple small ones to keep an eye on are Sam Hauser for Boston because they're already pretty short-handed, and so that could actually make a pretty big difference. And then in the Dallas game, Daniel Gafford currently listed as questionable, which would open somebody up like a Musa Cisse as probably a pretty strong value play if Gafford happens to be out. So those are 2 that I'm keeping my eye on, but the biggest stuff is Philadelphia and Toronto. We have Brandon Ingram, Paul George, Joel Embiid, all listed as game time decisions. Pretty big, important stuff, especially with RJ Barrett's already being out for the Raptors. They're like still no Jakob Poeltl. They're pretty undermanned, and so if they happen to still not get Ingram back, they got a lot of players who are looking really, really cheap. Same thing with Philadelphia. They're not quite as cheap, but if George and Embiid happen to not play, all of a sudden Tyrese Maxey is a spend up that you want to jam in. VJ Edgecombe will look pretty good. Maybe you could get to a little Grimes or Oubre. Drummond is finally really cheap. So that is the most important piece of knowledge is Philadelphia and Toronto that we're waiting on. And then the couple other small ones with Gafford and Hauser as well.
CMB playing 42 minutes last night for Toronto. Shed playing 37. Again, there was an overtime. Both those guys did start, but yeah, if we lose Ingram, the door is open for Toronto to look pretty appealing. You got anything, Noto, as far as big picture before we dive in?
Yeah, I think that's pretty good. So I think he did a good job of covering the injuries. And yeah, Jacoby Walter's out too for Toronto. So he started last night, only played 5 minutes. So like Elijah Martin could end up, he played 30 minutes off the bench last night. Could be an interesting value play if Ingram's out. But yeah, it should be a fun slate. Like TJ mentioned, I really like Cleveland, really like Boston. It's going to be popular, but in really good spots for sure.
I didn't watch last night's game, and so I am a Raptor fan and became aware of Elijah Martin for the first time today.
Are we excited about Elijah Martin now that you learned of his existence?
I will probably flip on to that game tonight during commercials and halftime and such of the football game, and so I'll report back after I give the eye test a look.
Yeah, pretty good fantasy point minute player so far this season in a small sample. I think it's just over 1, but we're talking about 52 minutes according to Court IQ. Chat is asking about Movie Monday, and even TJ asked me, and I guess I should have made one because I was thinking I try, during oh boy, I just accidentally turned on. I didn't realize Mr. Predicto was on. Hey, if you want to ask Mr. Predicto a question at some point during the show, there you go. We'll answer questions later on. Mr. Predicto's fired up. At least give or take 50% accuracy, so it's definitely worth yes or no questions only for Mr. Predicto. We'll answer questions later on in the show. Prioritize those in the Discord channel. It's rotogrinders.com/Discord, the live stream chat channel. And I try not to just muck up the crunch times a little bit more serious. Got an hour until lock, so can we have a little bit less fun? We try to have fun as well, but probably a little bit more nonsense. We mix in on the analysis earlier in the day. But let's do it. Let's dive in. Let's talk about the Jazz and the Cavs. Monster total, big boy total. It's 249.5. It is not tight. It is high, but it's not tight because Cleveland is a 13-point favorite here versus Utah. Man, Utah was down like 40 points the other day versus Charlotte or whatever. I couldn't up. It was a 38-10 to start, and it didn't get any better.
It's pretty good.
You saw that score, I assuming, Noto? That was pretty bonkers. Saturday. Was it Saturday or was it Sunday? Now I'm losing track of my day. Oh, it was a shellacking for sure. We do have the expectation that Nurkic is going to play for the Jazz. Nothing else really new. Ace Bailey also available too for Utah. Cleveland is pretty healthy. There's no Dean Wade. D Wade is out with his knee. Max Strus, who knows if or when we'll see him this season. He keeps getting delayed. We've not seen him all year long. He's out with his foot. But yeah, no, this is game 1, the only game at 7 o'clock. How do we feel about the Cavs? Is it still a revenge game for Mitchell? I don't know how he felt about leaving, and it's been a while at this point. Certainly a good spot against your Jazz. Just a matter of, does he get a full 37, 35 minutes against Utah? If he does, you got to feel pretty good about him. Jazz, Cavs, what do you got, Notorious?
Yeah, I think the revenge narrative gets lower the more games you play against your former team, right? And this is only the 5th time he's faced the Jazz, so I think we can still call it a revenge narrative. He did put up 70 one time against Utah, and he didn't leave on the best terms. It seemed like he wanted to get out of here as quickly as possible. So I don't mind the revenge narrative. More importantly, the Jazz are dead last in defensive rating, dead last in points allowed per game. You look at the team total, it's massive. I think it's 13 points higher than their season average, which is the highest I've seen in a few weeks. So, yeah, I like the Cleveland side of the ball. Mitchell is probably going to be more popular, but Garland's fine. Sam Merrill's been playing really well off the bench. Or is he starting now? I'm not sure, but he's at over 30 in 3 straight games.
He's starting. That's the expectation tonight.
Yeah, we haven't checked for around 30 minutes. So I like him a lot as a kind of a lower owned value play. I'm fine with the bigs as well, but I think Utah, the best way to beat them was some guards. They're really bad at defending the 3-point line as well. Then on the Jazz side, like they're not going to project well, but all of their players have some upside. Like Keontae George, 49 or more in 8 of his last 14 games. Nurkic has been on a tear. He's had at least 43 in 5 of his last 6 games. Markkanen, if you want to do the double revenge, you can go that route. He's had at least 40 in 7 straight games. Walter Clayton's finally playing a little bit more. I don't like him now that Ace Bailey's playing, but I think in tournaments you could play some Keontae, Markkanen, and Nurkic, and if this game stays close, I think all 3 of them have pretty decent ceiling. Cleveland's not like a bad matchup like they were a year ago.
TJ, Utah, Cleveland. I believe the highest raw points projected player is Mitchell. It's really, really close, but just barely. It would be Luka if he was on the main slate, but it's not. So it's Mitchell. By the way, Derek in chat is asking, he wanted to ask Mr. Predicto if Mitchell let him know. Well, you could just go to Twitter for that, and he did. 2 hours ago, Mitchell did tweet out, let him know, which he does. He does that every game, right? Isn't that's his thing every single game? So I don't know.
What's the thing he tweets out when he's questionable and going to play?
Well, the thing that lets you know he's going to play is he tweets out, let him know. If he's not going to play, he doesn't let him know.
Okay.
That's generally the tell.
We weren't worried about that, right?
No. It's just that's why I was answering the question, but it was kind of an unnecessary question because we assumed he was playing the whole time. TJ, Cavs, Jazz.
This is a really fun slate because even though it's only 4 games, they're actually really good ones to target. Like especially if Philadelphia and Toronto, some of this injury news breaks with these guys being out, then I actually want to get I want to get exposure to all 4 of these games. I'm definitely less interested in Utah than I am in Cleveland, but I still think they're viable because if you're wanting to play guys like Mitchell, like Mobley, like Allen, you probably want a Nurkic or a George or a Markkanen to run it back with, because if the Cleveland guys are going to hit their ceilings, Utah has to keep it somewhat close. And so I definitely like mixing in some Markkanen, George, and Nurkic in lineups where I'm playing lots of Cleveland. I'll probably make a rule where hold on, let me put it up on the screen share right now, and I will just make said rule. I'll go into the group section, and I'm going to say for Markkanen, George, and Nurkic, I want to play at least 2 of these Cleveland guys in every lineup because I want to exclusively play those 2 together. Because I think if Utah's hitting a ceiling, there's a good chance those Cleveland guys do great and vice versa. So I'll do like a Mitchell, Garland, Mobley, Allen for that one, because guys like the Merrills and Jalen Tysons and Craig Porters, I think when I'm playing 150 lineups, I'm definitely still looking to keep those guys in the pool. But in the ones where I'm playing the Utah guys and I'm trying to game stack it, I kind of want the stars in that one. So that's why I'm doing that with this rule. I did it with Markkanen. I'll do it with George and Nurkic as well. Cleveland side, my favorite is definitely Donovan Mitchell. Probably number 2, Garland. I actually think Allen 3, Mobley 4. I think I like Allen a little bit more than Mobley for their prices. And then I do think both Sam Merrill, Craig Porter Jr. are very viable as salary savers today.
No, I assume you're playing just one lineup tonight. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Do we have any priorities? Utah, Cleveland, it's 7 o'clock game, the only game at 7 o'clock. There's potentially a chance we're waiting for some news. Some news might come out of nowhere. You never really know. We're waiting on Philly. We probably get Philly right at 7. That's typically how that works when their lineup drops, right?
Yep.
Are we making sure 7 o'clock? Is there somebody that must be in your lineup? Who's the must? Is Mitchell a must for you? Who's a must for you in that first game, Utah and Cleveland?
Yeah, Mitchell would probably be the guy that I would choose, but I think Merrill's one of my favorite value plays. I mean, Jazz have given up the most 3-pointers of any team in the league, and they've given up the 4th highest 3-point percentage of any team in the league. I think he could be sneaky, but again, I want that news beforehand. Like if Embiid and George and Ingram are all active, then I think somebody like Merrill is much more playable. If 2 or 3 of them are out, then we're probably going to have better value elsewhere. But and then I go to Mitchell instead of Merrill.
Let's talk about Boston, Indiana. 225.5 is a total. Boston's a 5-point favorite in Indiana, despite the fact they're going to be without their best player, presumably Jaylen Brown officially doubtful. He's got that back. Sam Hauser has a hamstring. He's also questionable. Minot is out with his ankle. Indiana, no Mathurin. Nembhard is available and good to go for the Pacers. TJ, Celtics, Pacers. Are we doing like you have to have one of White or Pritchard in every lineup if you're running 150? If you're running 50, I feel like one of them has to get there, right?
Yeah, that's my plan right now is a 1 to 2, not going to max those guys, but a 1 to 2 Pritchard and White in every single lineup. It's just so hard to see a scenario where they outright fail. I'm not positive I'm going to put that. I don't know how much I'm going to force them in above that. Like, I'm probably not going to play both of them together a ton unless I'm running it back with some Indiana guys. And in that case, I absolutely will play both of them together. But I want at least one of Pritchard or White. I'm going to include Sam Hauser in my pool right now. And then if he happens to be out and we get that after lock, I'm making sure I only play him at small forward so that I can just swap him directly to Hugo Gonzalez. And then Anthony Simons, totally viable salary saver. I might make the rule that I play one of White, Pritchard, Simons. That might be how I do it, like 1 to 2 of those guys, because they don't really have any other backup ball handling guards. And so I feel like Simons kind of has to close if this one gets ugly in either way. So I was originally thinking 1 to 2 of White and Pritchard, but I might add Anthony Simons in there.
Who benefits if Hauser is out? I think it's a combination, right? Probably a combination of Gonzalez and Walsh.
And Shireman. But you don't play him, but
does anybody get enough? Like you mentioned Gonzalez. He's your favorite amongst that group?
Yeah, I think he is not great, but he's posted some ceiling performances when he gets the minutes, and he's cheap. So I think it's fine at a weak position.
You have a lean there, Noto. Do we care? Is it worth caring about? It is 27 minutes, but they're going to get chopped up. We've seen some ceiling games from Walsh, especially from a minutes perspective, but they're hard to predict. It's very fluid as far as this version of the Celtics rotation, but they're going to be without some key pieces. So, somebody's got to step up and play.
Actually, that's probably what I'll do is to not get a ton of Gonzalez. I'm going to keep Hauser in there, but then allow him to be small forward or power forward. Then the small forwards I'll change to Gonzalez. The power forwards I'll change to Walsh.
Yeah. And maybe I was going to say maybe cap it Walsh and Gonzalez at 1, I think.
No, they won't be in my pool. So I'll just if Hauser's out, I'll take this lineups that have Hauser at small forward, use Gonzalez for that. The lineups that have Hauser at power forward, use Walsh for that.
There you go. That makes sense. No, do we care about this? Are we thinking about this? Is there going to be something meaningful if we lose Hauser? Do we like Hauser if he plays? Because he projects pretty well. And then, of course, you have Pritchard and White.
Yeah, if he plays, I think Hauser is certainly fine. And then I was originally going to say, Hugo Gonzalez is like the guy I want to play. But was just looking at Baylor's profile pic. He's rocking the gold chain. I might have to lean with him after seeing that. I got the gold chain on, so I got to
easily swayed.
Yeah, easily swayed. It's all about the the non-basketball things that matter to me. But I think Gonzalez is probably the way I would go with that. But Hauser's fine if he's active, and with Jaylen Brown out, we don't see a clean distribution like this. Like when the star's out, usually everyone kind of gets a small boost. But man, Derek White, Peyton Pritchard, just both massive usage boosts, massive point per minute boosts, and then like Simons and Garza see small boosts. So I'm locking both of them in my main lineup and kind of going to let the field make the mistake there.
Yeah, I mean, some stuff can change. I ran some optimals on DK. Currently, in the first optimal I have is Hauser, Pritchard, and White. And actually, Kate is in it too, which is a little surprising. Well, he's not bad, but, projection-wise, 2 of the top 3 players hit my lineups on DK are Pritchard and White. Wolf actually in the middle, which is a little bit surprising as well, but he is cheap for Brooklyn, and they are without some pieces. Namely, Yegor Yeoman. I don't know why it just came to me. Yegor Yeoman. Why couldn't I think of that before? Definitely not yogurt. I don't know why I was thinking about yogurt. Must have been thinking about Spaceballs or something. But
hungry.
What do you got, TJ?
Said you're hungry.
Well, who doesn't crave yogurt? Noto, Pacers?
I don't know. I was hoping Nembhard would be out, but he's not. So I kind of just want to play Boston without anybody bringing it back, at least for one lineup. So TJ is probably a better person to ask because he's building a bunch of lineups. But I don't think I'm getting any Pacers tonight.
TJ?
Nembhard and Siakam, both in my pool, made a rule that I want at least 2 of Pritchard, White, and Kada in every lineup that has either Siakam or Nembhard, but kind of using them like those Utah pieces when I want to stack up the Boston guys. I'm okay with putting in a run back, but I don't think you need it.
Merrill officially starting. Garland, Mitchell, Merrill, Mobley, Allen for Cleveland. No starting lineup just yet for Utah. Game 3, also 7:30, running it back from last night. Game 1 in overtime, 220.5 is the total. We don't currently know about the status of Joel Embiid or Paul George. Philadelphia is a 4-point favorite. Now that we know about the status of Brandon Ingram, he's got a thumb, so he is questionable. Anybody else of note? Well, Jakob Poeltl is still out. RJ Barrett also still out for Toronto. We're projecting Shed, Quickly, Ingram, Barnes, and CMB, Colin Murray Boyles, who really fully smashed last night. He was pretty awesome. Again, somewhat benefiting from overtime, but the price is still pretty good. I will let Noto start us off. Philadelphia, Toronto. It's tough, right? Because we don't know about Embiid. I think Embiid's going to play. I feel pretty good about him playing. I feel less about Paul George. He was that late scratch, and he's got those knees that are old. Not that Embiid's knees are spectacular, but I'm expecting him to play. But we shall see. And when will we know? I don't know. Possibly 7 o'clock, right at the bell. But you tell me. No. Sixers, Raptors.
Yeah, I kind of get the feeling that Embiid was just he's going to play one of the 2 games in the back-to-back, so let's play him in the second one. And then with Paul George being the late scratch, I would think he's more questionable at this point. But we will see. Nobody ever plays Tyrese Maxey, so if you want to play him in tournaments, I certainly don't mind it. He's been on a tear, put up 57 last night. Outside of that, I don't know. Paul George has been pretty bad, so if he's active, I won't play him. But VJ Edgecombe, he's had some great games over the last few weeks. He's going to be, depends on Embiid and George. But right now we have him at 5% ownership, Maxey at 7% ownership. So I don't mind getting to both of them in large field tournaments. Single entry, I probably won't play anybody from Philly if George and Embiid are active. And on Toronto, I like Shed quite a bit. I think he makes sense in all formats. He's playing well. The minutes are up. He's probably going to start again. So I like him quite a bit. Scotty Barnes still feels too cheap on DraftKings. He's been solid, 43 or more in 4 of his last 5 games, only 8,200. I'm not really a Emmanuel Quickly guy for tournaments. Like, he's got a pretty high floor, but the ceiling hasn't really been there. I guess it has been better recently with Barrett and Ingram out last night, but I don't know if I'll get there tonight. And then, everyone's going to look to CMB, but if Embiid's playing, it's a much different spot. Plus, he played so many minutes last night, so I'm pumping the brakes a little bit on CMB.
What do you think of Mamukashvili as a pivot away from him? You've seen this a couple times this year where you play one and the other one goes off, and you flip him and then flips again on you. It's hard to get it right sometimes.
Yeah, it has been hard. I usually just lean with the starter, but yeah, I don't have a strong take on either of them if Embiid's playing.
TJ, your Raptors, 76ers?
Yeah, not a super exciting game if all of these guys are healthy. If they're all healthy, I'll mix in a little Maxey, I'll mix in a little Embiid, a little Edgecombe for Philadelphia, but a max 1 per each team. I'll like Edgecombe even more, and then maybe mix in some Quentin Grimes if Paul George happens to be out. I agree. I think Embiid is probably going to play in this one, but we don't know for sure. On the Raptors side, I'm leaning towards Ingram being in. If Ingram is in, I'm going with a max 2 Raptors per build, and probably just like one of Quickly, Ingram, Barnes, and then one of the cheaper guys. Max 1 of Mamu and Colin Murray Boyles for sure. And yeah, if all of these guys are in, these are just going to be 2 teams that I'll mix in pieces of, but not going to get overly aggressive with. If Ingram happens to be out, I'll jack up that rule and play up to 3 Raptors in a lineup. Still max 1 of Mamu and Murray Boyles, but Barnes, Quickly, Shed. I think you can just load up on them, and then you can play Elijah Martin, as well. And then on the Philly side, if Embiid is out, I think that puts Drummond in play or Bona. I don't know. I still don't think I'd like either of them all that much. Maybe a little Jared McCain if Paul George is out, but that'd be like super large field stuff.
Yeah, McCain's been he's been buried, man. They don't.
I wish the Raptors and 76ers weren't in the same division, because McCain would be a guy I'd love to trade for. Just like that feels
9
like
minutes last night. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
That just feels like such a good buy low.
Yeah, he looked pretty good his rookie year, and then he got hurt, right? Coming back from injury. He looks like he's got some abilities there. And that he's just going to be buried in this team with Maxey and Edgecombe. Like there's not really going to be a massive opportunity for him. Probably better opportunities if he goes somewhere. I think that's actually a pretty good point. I don't know if they're willing to move him or want to move him. There's really not a ton of incentive to move him, I don't think. But yeah, he probably would get more opportunity, more run elsewhere. You mentioned Martin. We have an if then. If Ingram is out, he would project as a medium projection. And there's some fragility to this because we've not seen a lot of them, so it's kind of tough to do. But they currently have him at 24 minutes, about 17 fantasy points. DK FanDuel is a median projection. So, and he's essentially still minimum. So sure, why not? And Barnes would spike up, especially on DK. His projection would look really good if we happen to lose Ingram. And we don't know. He never beats his timeline, Ingram. And last year was kind of shenanigans when they sat him down the entire season when they traded for him. I think that was just a tank job, right? He probably could have played at some point, and they just said, screw it. And then Washington did the same thing, right? Trading for a player they're not going to play with Trae Young. We'll see. And that's the reports, at least. We'll see how that plays out. Okay. Anything else here as far as Toronto and Philly, or shall we talk about the hammer? That is Brooklyn and Dallas. More of a chisel, right? 219.5. That is the total. Brooklyn is a 3-point dog here versus the Mavs. We mentioned Anthony Davis is out for Dallas. Not just Anthony Davis, but Derek Lively, PJ Washington officially doubtful, Brandon Williams officially doubtful. So we're presuming that Nembhard is playing in the starting lineup, as well as Max Christie, Cooper Flagg, Najee Marshall, and Daniel Gafford. But again, Gafford is questionable. If he doesn't go, Moussa Cisse would step up, or maybe a combination of Moussa Cisse and Dwight Powell. I guess if you're going to play one of those two, it's probably Cisse. From a fantasy perspective, as far as Brooklyn, we mentioned Yegor Yeoman's not playing basketball for them tonight. They have 11 dudes. We're not projecting Wolf to start, but he is hitting optimals, at least some that I was running earlier. Yeah, Cam Thomas also out. Zaire Williams out. We've not seen Hayward Highsmith all season long. Give me Brooklyn and Dallas, TJ.
Yeah, a lot of these guys are interesting just because the small forward and power forward positions kind of suck. And so Michael Porter Jr., I was looking at him in a vacuum and thinking, I don't really like him. And then I looked at the state of the small forward position and went, okay, yeah, maybe he's a pretty good spend-up option today. And so that kind of does make things tough because I don't really like a lot of these guys, but Wolf and Clowney, Michael Porter Jr., all of a sudden I think are pretty valuable just because of how weak those positions are. Claxton and Sharp, I think one of those guys probably has a pretty nice ceiling game today against Dallas. Want to make sure I'm keeping both of them in my pool and getting to a fair amount of each. Max one of them, of course. And then I think one of these two cheap guards probably has a good day too. Tyrese Martin, Nolan Traore, however you say his name. I think I prefer Traore just a little bit, but I think one of those guys can have themselves a decent game. On the Dallas side, I know Cooper Flagg disappointed everybody last night. I'm going to go back to the well just because, one, I don't care that he disappointed everybody. Two, small forward's so bad. And so I like Flagg a fair amount. I think Flagg, Michael Porter is a pretty interesting mini stack. Nembhard is good, but the point guard position is just so strong that I think it's going to be tough to get too much of him. Same with Max Christie. Like, I wish he had small forward eligibility so I could get to him more, but that's the biggest compliment I can pay this game is that I'm interested in it, but mostly just because of the lack of goodness at the positions that a lot of these guys play.
No.
Yeah, I like this game a little bit. I think Michael Porter Jr. is one of my favorite tournament plays, and you kind of get that late night hammer too. No Cam Thomas. He's been great pretty much all season. Like, I didn't think he was that great. I didn't think the trade was going to be lopsided when Denver got Cam Johnson for him. But, man, Brooklyn's looking better at this point. Granted, they're a lot worse team. But, yeah, he's at least 47 in 5 of his last 7 games. And nice usage boost with Thomas out. I like Noah Clowney. He's a guy that never gets ownership and has, 35-plus fantasy point upside. I don't mind Wolf. Don't mind Claxton in tournaments. And then for Dallas, I'm with TJ. I'm playing Cooper Flagg, have him tagged as a core play. I just think with Anthony Davis out, he's responsible for so much that I'm fine being overweight on him. The ownership's certainly reasonable. We have him at 28% on DraftKings right now. outside of that, I mean, you can mix and match the other guys, Thompson, Christie, Nemhard, Marshall, but none of them really stand out to me.
Noah Clowney took a season-high 17 shots last game, 15 of which from three.
Oh,
yeah, that's thought that was pretty interesting. Apparently, Svi Mikhailiuk is starting for Sensabaugh. Shout out to Tim, Tasteful Tides there in the chat. Hopefully your vacation is going well. It's George, Svi, Williams, Markkanen, and Nurkic for Utah. I mean, do we care about Svi Mikhailiuk? He's rarely does he get you home. He's 3.5 on DK. I don't know his FanDuel price pulled up, but he's not the most reliable of players. 3.7 on FanDuel. A lot of times he'll start and disappear too. Do we care, Noto? Svi starting?
No, I don't care. But yeah, I hope Tim's having fun on his poker mafia trip, as Roth called it.
Roth was very, he thought there's some shenanigans going on. It's on the up and up, to my understanding. I don't think he would tell us what he's doing if it wasn't. Hopefully, he's
I feel like I don't even really miss Tim because I think I feel like I'm still seeing him every day because every day in chat, Broccoli Boy is giving us constant update of what's going on with him.
I need the Broccoli Boy updates. Keep them coming, Broccoli Boy. Tell me what's going on the vacation. We're going to run it back and give our fair plays position by position. We'll do it with DK and FanDuel together. We can kind of splinter off if something is worth noting on FanDuel specifically. We'll let DraftKings kind of drive the conversation. And then if you say, well, wait a second, I think Jared Allen's better on FanDuel than DK, go out of your way and point that out. We want to satisfy the FanDuel players as well. Anything else news-wise coming through? I'm trying to see if anything's changing projections. I don't think so. We'll get an update on Svi. I'm curious to see what do we have him for. Who wants to play Svi? We had him for 17, and it's probably not going to change a ton. It's going to change, I imagine, but I don't know. Because, again, there is some utility.
From the amount of games that there's being played on both sites being the same to the prices, this is the most locked in with each other I've ever seen FanDuel and DraftKings for an NBA slate. Like, everything is just the same.
Yeah, so there's no reason to just kind of repeat ourselves for that reason. Just kind of circle back and get the same set of information. But let's knock it out position by position. TJ, you can start for me. Talk about point guards. And again, assume DK. They're basically the same. But if something is different, feel free, please tell the people something different on FanDuel.
Yeah, so both sides, Derek White, Peyton Pritchard, Anthony Simons. I want to make sure I get at least one of those guys in every lineup. And you're playing both Pritchard and White in cash for sure. We see Cooper Flagg projecting with a really high optimal rate here. Play him at small forward. Play him at the forward position. Don't play him at point guard because there are just so many good options here. I think from a cash perspective, you're probably playing the two Boston guards and Jamal Shed, I think, are the three options that are the best for that setting. And then probably, I guess, also Donovan Mitchell. So those four guards are where you're going in cash games. I'm not a big fan of Quickly. I would rather go to Shed. I like Noto's call of Garland in tournaments today. I think he's a really good tournament play. And then as a punt, I don't mind Nemhard, Traore, or Martin, but a max one of Martin and Traore.
No, give me your thoughts as far as point guard, and feel free to jump to shooting guard.
Yeah, so point guard, I have three guys tagged at the moment. Pritchard, White, and Flagg. Like TJ mentioned, I think Flagg's much better at small forward. Helps you knock out that position. And then you can play Pritchard at point guard and then White at point guard or shooting guard. Love Shed as well. I'm probably going to have those four in my main lineup. Might include Simons as well. He's always been just a good per minute producer. Now he's going to get a few more minutes with Brown out, maybe a little bit higher usage rate. Pretty good matchup against Indy. So, yeah, I like a lot of point guards tonight. I think you can play three of them on DraftKings if you so choose. And large field stuff, Keontae George, again, he's got that high ceiling. Nobody ever plays him. And if you're playing Cleveland guys, I do like getting to some Keontae. At shooting guard, pretty much the same names, but now we have Donovan Mitchell there, who obviously has got that great match against Utah, got the revenge narrative going for him. And then I like White and Simons here. For small field stuff, I don't think I'm going to get to anyone else unless Embiid and George are out. Then I might get to a little bit of VJ Edgecombe.
Again, reminder, if you have questions, we'll answer the ones on YouTube as best possible. We're going to prioritize the questions in the Discord channel, rotogrinders.com/Discord. The live stream chat channel, some of our Discord channels are priority for Premium members, this one is not. Anybody can ask questions. So just as long as you have a regular standard RG account, again, jump in the Discord channel. Questions are prioritized. Do also want to mention Pick Labs. Shout out to Pick Labs, the newest Fantasy Labs feature that lets you you can scan the best player prop and pick them the bets in just seconds. Everything is broken down for you from edges and win rates to values. It's a very clean board to look at. Which plays actually stands out. Tells you which plays stand out across sports books as well as Underdog, Prize Picks, sites like that. When you see something you like, Pick Labs will actually build the slip for you and send it straight to the book of your choice. For a limited time, you can get a free access to this if you have a Fantasy Labs sub. FantasyLabs.com/pricing. You get $20 off your first payment with the promo code that is FLEX20. FLEX20 gets you $20 off your first payment for a Fantasy Labs sub. TJ, shooting guard, and jump over to small forward.
A lot of the same names we've already talked about. Derek White, Donovan Mitchell, Anthony Simons, the top three. Toronto is an interesting place to look here because I think if Brandon Ingram plays, he's going to be super low owned and he's viable in this spot. It's a thumb injury. He's not going to play limited minutes if he plays. He's just going to go out there and chuck like he always does. And so Brandon Ingram, I think, is really fun contrarian option if he's in. And then if he's out, I think Elijah Mitchell is an interesting punt. Outside of those guys, like we got the main ones we talked about, Celtics and Mitchell. Cooper Flag can be played at shooting guard on FanDuel, but I would rather him over at the small forward position still. And I honestly don't feel like there's really anybody to add outside of that.
All right, Noto, give me all the forwards, both small and power.
All right, so you can play Cooper Flag and small forward. I don't mind that on FanDuel. You can play him at 3 different positions, and wasn't he all 5 positions one day at some point in the season?
I don't remember that, but maybe.
He was at least 4, which is pretty great. And then for whatever reason, Klay Thompson's a power forward on FanDuel too, which is kind of funny.
Sure.
Yeah, you see him too in the post. Oh, maybe it's the DraftKings. But yeah, Evan Mobley's projecting well. I'm fine with him. I think he's certainly a good cash game option. It's a good matchup. He's just not a priority for me tonight in tournaments. Scotty Barnes already projects well, so if Ingram's out, give him a little bump. Danny Wolf and Clowney. I'm going to side with Clowney over Wolf, but I think they're both interesting. And then Michael Porter, probably my favorite tournament play on the board.
By the way, Speed McKaylock up to 20 minutes as far as the projection did not change a heck of a lot. That was my thought as well. Just probably kind of the, starting, but, doesn't necessarily mean a heck of a lot there for Utah. Yeah, you have forwards here. TJ, I believe you gave small forward. What about power forward and center?
Yeah, just so few guys at these 2 positions that I really want to get to today. It makes it tough. I understand why Sam Hauser, Danny Wolf, and who was the other one that I was looking at? Hauser, Wolf, and Merrill. I understand why they're projecting for some ownership today, just because it is so limited on both of these sites tonight at these 2 positions. My 2 highest owned as things stand right now, unless we get some more value opening up at the last minute, I'm getting almost as much Merrill and Hauser as I am Cooper Flag and Michael Porter Jr., which I don't really like. But that's just kind of the state of these 2 positions.
Can you power rank the Sams? It sounds like you like one more than the other one.
Merrill over Hauser.
Yeah. There's not a third one, right? I was looking to see if there's a third one to make it more interesting, but I don't think so. Is there not even like a 15th man named Sam? Is Sam Mitchell playing tonight? I don't think so. I feel like he's been retired for about 20 years. Anything else there as far as – did you talk about centers? You got centers for me, TJ.
No, I have not talked about centers yet. This is similar to point guard where I feel like it's a much stronger position than the shooting guard, power forward, small forward spot on this slate, because there's actually a fair amount of guys that I want to play. And then if we were to happen to get Daniel Gafford out, then we get even more value with this position today. So the guy that I'm getting to the most is, hold on, let me just swap over. I'm going to be underweight on Evan Mobley, but he is still the guy I'm getting to the most, probably more at the power forward spot than the center spot, just because I do find it quite a bit weaker. I like the idea of taking shots on Musa Cisse and just hoping that Daniel Gafford is going to be out. I don't know that he will be, and if he's not, I'll find some other ways to adjust. But I think Cisse is very interesting. Nemius Keita, I like a fair amount. Nick Claxton, I like for tournaments. And then just because of this game time decision stuff, Embiid's probably going to be pretty low owned. Nurkic is always low owned, and he just consistently smashes, so he's pretty good too.
Yeah, he's a bruiser.
Odds are available to play. Jaylen Brown officially ruled out.
Okay, that's how we have it projected. So nothing really to change there. That's good to know. Getting that early. We did assume that Brown, who was doubtful, is out. Hauser is in. Noto centers.
Yeah, probably my least favorite position. I like Mobley just because he's safe and has some upside. Danny Wolf, I think he's fine. Yeah, he's been pretty good. 24 more in 4 of his last 6. Decent matchup against Dallas, especially if they're missing some guys in the front court. Jared Allen's kind of the low-round option on Cleveland if you want to get there. He doesn't play a lot of minutes, and he should be super efficient in this one. And the pace of the game should be great too. I think both these teams are in the top 6 or 7 in pace so far this season. I like the Embiid call. I think he could be interesting for sure because nobody's going to want to play him.
Yeah, I think he's pretty good in tournaments as well. Let's get the people slate breakers. Who's breaking the slate? We want to know. I don't want to, leave it all up to the bell. We got 12 minutes until lock, so just be wary of that. Get your questions in the Discord channel, RotoGrinders.com/Discord. Live stream chat channel. I will be taking a peek at YouTube as well. But the rest of the show, it's yours, people. You guys drive the rest of the show. Noto, who's breaking the slate? Who you feeling in the old proverbial plums?
Yeah, so I can't go with the Boston Chalk, but I think they're great plays. I'm going to go Michael Porter Jr.
All right. See it and raise it, TJ.
All right. I am going to go with... Gosh, I both like this slate and absolutely hate it. Musa Cisse. Musa Cisse is going to break the slate for us.
Wow.
There's your raise, baby.
Do you need that's raising with Deuce 7 though, possibly. But then you might get noted to fold.
Not Deuce 7. It's at least some. They're low cars, but they're connectors. These are some low. Musa Cisse is a low suited connector.
Connectors,
it's not good as it is, but there's a lot of ways that it could hit.
So okay, just add some clarity to that because is you only play him if Gafford's out?
Yeah.
Okay, just make sure. I just wanted that to be known because that's important. Your attitude qualifiers on there. What is our projection? If for right now,
you're calling me a homer, that is a Dallas player. How does that make me a homer? Brandon Williams out, Daniel Gafford out, PJ Washington out. Damn, I wish we got that right after lock. Musa Cisse season, baby.
Okay, so we did have a projection for this, I believe.
Good timing.
So we had Flag's going to project even better. 35 minutes, 43 DK, 42 FanDuel. Najee Marshall, his price is kind of baked up, so he's not necessarily a positive value, but certainly he's playable. Cisse we have for
how many points for Marshall? I'm sorry, I'm just trying to update this right now just so I can get these lineups in.
So DK 30.5, FanDuel 30. I'm rounding up, it's like the closest 0.5. So they are chopping Cisse and Powell 20 and 20. One guy might play a little bit more, but that's what we're doing right now. We have Cisse for about 20, for about 18 DK and Powell for 17, but it sounds like you've made up your mind, and I would agree. Cisse is the better play amongst the two if you're going to take a shot. Powell versus Cisse, yes. If you're playing one of those two, TJ, you're probably not getting much any at all as far as Powell, and you're going to play Cisse?
5 to 10% Powell.
Uh-huh.
But that's it.
Yeah. Christie also would become a pretty decent play. 25 FanDuel, 26 DK is a medium play. Do you care about this news, Noto? You're making one lineup. You don't care.
Of course I care. We got to play Cisse now.
Cisse's your guy.
Yeah.
Problems play.
All right. To the Discord channel, answering some questions. Projections will get updated. Bill T, is Anthony Davis the most fragile player since Sam Bowie? There's another Sam that's not playing tonight. Sam Bowie, put him in the back of the power rankings of the Sam. In the same draft as Sam Perkins. And those guys, of course, were sandwiched around. 1 was Olajuwon, 2 was Bowie, 3 was Jordan, 4 was Barkley, 5 was Sam Perkins. No is the answer to your question. Although maybe. Sam Bowie is pretty fragile. Let's see. So golf nuts, Noto. I want to play flag and MPJ. You liked MPJ on DK single entry. If the Philly guys are in, where can I find value aside from Shed? Well, I guess Cisse is one of our value plays, and the Sams.
Yeah, Cisse, Danny Wolf's pretty good. Hauser, Merrill, I like them all.
All right, jumping over to the Discord channel. We'll save this question, TJ. We can save this for after lock. Our guy J3 had a question. He had a question for Mr. Predicto, which maybe we shouldn't waste time on that with 8 minutes until lock. Let's see. Scrolling on back. I'm different conversations going on, trying to find actual questions here. Don Yeezy says White and Pritchard both smash, leading Pritchard. Do you have a favorite amongst those two, TJ? I know you're playing a bunch of both.
White, because he has shooting guard eligibility.
Brittany is just asking Barlow, ? Barlow. Are we interested in Barlow, Noto, on Philly?
I mean, I don't think he's a bad play, but I think probably Embiid's got to be out for me.
Yeah, we're currently just giving him 20 minutes for what it's worth and doesn't quite get there in a 20-minute projection. They're speculating on Tides on his adventure, on his shenanigans. I think he'll be back soon, so we'll get an update in that from the horse's mouth. TJ, Mike wants to know, this is Mike Smokes 420, Jared Allen or Nurkic? Who do you prefer amongst those two?
Cash and small field tournaments, Allen. Large field stuff, Nurkic.
Question for TJ. Alexander the Don wants to know, is Evan Mobley a player TJ is getting to? Are you getting some Mobley yet, TJ? I assume you're getting some.
Getting some strong cash game play. I'll be underweight in tournaments.
Don Yeezy wants to know, Noto, who scores more points, Derek White or Mitchell? I guess that's just raw points. Who do you prefer amongst those two?
It's pretty close. I think I would still go Mitchell, but it's close.
Large field tournaments, I'll ask TJ this question, 2v2. Lauri Markkanen and Hauser versus Cooper and Hugo. Are we still interested in Hugo?
No. So the first one.
Okay. PJ Washington officially out. Gafford officially out. What else do we have going on here? Alexander says we have to talk a little bit about Powell. I want to get an update on our projections, what our projection team is doing with Dallas. There might be a little bit of hedging because they don't know exactly who's going to start there. Our minutes update, Powell 20, Cisse 20. So, yeah, they're giving 20 and 20. And, it's a tough thing to project, but that's kind of where we have it right now. Brandon Williams, by the way, I know we mentioned him officially out too. I think we knew he was doubtful. But Williams officially out, Gafford officially out, as is Washington. What is our official starting lineup? We're projecting. We still have Gafford. Somebody's got to jump in there and change that on the lineup page. Scrolling on through. Noto, who's the player? You're making one lineup. Who's the player you're most afraid of not having?
Probably Evan Mobley.
Who were you lowest on, TJ, ownership-wise? Just didn't get to for whatever reason that can possibly bite you in the old butt?
Evan Mobley.
Both you guys, low on Mobley. TJ, how many players on Dallas?
I'm a little light on Scotty Barnes too, but I'll bump that up if Ingram's out.
Yeah, and we'll probably get that news in like five minutes, probably. Yeah, I assume so. Cash question for you, TJ. DK Cash. How many Dallas players are in DK Cash right now, and who are the priorities for Dallas in cash?
Najee Marshall, Cooper Flag, and I am actually not sure if Marshall is, because I think I bumped him up more than RG did with that news. So let me double check 1 second again, quick.
I'm running some optimals too.
Yeah, it's just Cooper Flag.
Yeah, I am seeing
hard. I think that's probably incorrect too. I think I bumped his projection up. So yeah, no, just Cooper Flag.
I mean, the stuff I'm running, 30% Clay, 45% Flag. So I think he's a really good cash game play, and he's going to have a massive role on this team today. I do see Dwight Powell landing in one of the early optimals. I don't feel great about that, but just note he's in there. Then you're obviously getting some good stuff around him, but the floor on Powell is very, very low. Noto, Darren wants to know Keita or Mamakelashvili.
Mamu. But I don't know. I would probably go Keita, actually.
Keita seems more solidified. Better
Yeah.
floor, if nothing else. Cisse is officially in with his shoulder, for what it's worth. Musa Cisse officially good to go. We Major's got a question for you, TJ. Clay or Hauser FanDuel tournaments? Clay or Hauser?
Hauser.
Sean's got a question for Noto specifically. CMB or Clowney? FanDuel tournaments, CMB or Clowney?
Yeah, I'm kind of playing the CMB bad game, assuming Embiid plays, so I'm going to go with Clowney.
For TJ, Swag with Chris wants to know FanDuel tournaments. No, FanDuel cash. Is Cisse a cash game play now on FanDuel? I don't know about that. Is he?
I doubt it, but let me double check.
Circle back on that, and I'll ask Noto a question.
It's like Nurkic or Claxton are probably the ones you're going with. But if I up Cisse to 20 minutes, he becomes, still not at the top. 4K, I don't think so.
I don't think he's cash. I mean, certainly in tournaments, but probably not your cash game guy.
Yeah.
Noto, D-Rock, DK tournaments, Keita or, we already asked that. It's Keita or Mamakelashvili. I believe we just answered that question, right? I think that was the question before. Another question for you, Noto. DK single entry tournaments, last piece. Hauser or Wolf? Rob G wants to know Hauser or Wolf single entry DK tournaments.
I'll go Wolf, but it's close.
Hammer's got a question for TJ. Any Cody Williams loves? How many of those 150 lineups have Cody Williams, if any?
Ingram is in, and none of them.
Didn't think you'd have any Cody Williams. Okay, so Ingram is good to go with his thumb. Do we like Ingram, TJ?
More than the field will. He's going to be, I think, like very, very unowned. I'm going to have about 10, 15%. We're projecting him for 13% ownership. I think it'll be lower.
Are we knocking anybody down? I mean, yes, you're projecting him in. We were projecting him in. Anybody you're kind of bumping down on Toronto as far as their ceiling with Ingram in?
No, because we already had that projected, so I'm not changing anything.
Yeah, like CW was asking, is Shed still fine? I think so. I think Shed is still fine. I mean, his ceiling probably takes a slight hit, but he's still cheap enough where I think he is.
If Shed doesn't start, I think we maybe consider bumping him down, trying to get to an Anthony Simons instead. But as long as he's in the starting lineup, we have no problem with them at all.
Yeah, we're projecting Shed, Quickly, Ingram, Barnes, and CMB to draw the start for Toronto. We'll probably get that starting lineup here momentarily. We're less than a minute until locks. I think that is all the questions. If I missed yours, my apologies. I'm kind of bouncing back and forth, but I think I got most, if not all, of the questions. Somebody was asking about the Sams. We answered that before. Which preference amongst the Sams? No way Agbaji will start. Is Agbaji actually starting, or are they speculating Agbaji's starting? If he's starting, do we care? Probably not, right?
No, Agbaji's not going to start, and Agbaji probably doesn't start. Like, maybe he does over Shed, and they just go quickly at the one, but we don't care either way.
So, TJ, our guy J3 in chat says, can you ask Mr. Predicto if TJ truly is the best DFS players in all of Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, Canada? It will settle it for once and for all. You ready for it? You want to ask Mr. Predicto?
If I'm not mistaken, it was supposed to be all of Saskatchewan, and you are once again limiting me to just my city.
It's always, I'm reading the question. It says in all of Saskatoon. So you got to take it up with J3. He limited the Saskatoon.
And George both in.
Who was that?
Embiid and George.
Embiid and George both in.
I thought George was going to sit. Okay. Embiid and George both in. So that, even if you were considering, we talked about it before, if you were considering something like Barlow, I mean, hard to get excited about that with both those guys definitely in. I think you kind of needed one of those to be out. But let's go ahead. Let's appease J3. Let's ask Mr. Predicto the question. This is once and for all, TJ. This will decide it. Unless, of course, it goes your way. And then we'll ask it again. Best 2 out of 3. Let's fire up Mr. Predicto. Is he truly the best DFS player in all of Saskatoon?
Yeah. You can rely on that.
Ooh. Best 2 out of 3?
No, this is all of Saskatchewan now.
We'll have to save that cliffhanger for next show, I suppose. You guys play in the NFL Streets? NFL Streets, any captain takes? I know we have a beer and chop coming on in almost 30 minutes, not even 30 minutes, 7:30, talking about Pittsburgh and Houston tonight. Are we in the streets tonight, Noto, for Showdown? And if so, any takes, any Showdown captains you want to tell the people?
Yeah, I'm playing some Showdown. I like Kenneth Gainwell a lot. I think he's just going to come preloaded with 9 receptions for however many yards. But, yeah, I like him quite a bit.
That's the Pittsburgh offense these days, right?
Yep.
Who wins? You have a take on who wins this game, Noto?
I mean, Houston should smash, but something about Tomlin in the playoffs, I just get that feeling. So I'm going to go Steelers.
Yeah, and kind of shaky offensive lines on the road.
Hasn't Tomlin lost 6 straight playoff games?
Is that true?
Yeah.
But he's got some magic, all right? He's due.
he's lost 6 straight playoff appearances, I'm pretty sure.
There's rumors of him getting fired, which is he has a winning season every single year, which you could argue
Shed
might be
back starting, by the way. Shed, Quickly, Ingram, Barnes, Murray, Boyle.
Okay, that's of note. Any bets, by the way? Any player prop bets in the NFL Streets? You guys have anything out there? TJ, I think you had a take for a Showdown as well. I guess you're going to be on the show with
I'll be behind the scenes. I'll just be producing, but my take for Showdown is Kaimi Fairbairn captain lineups.
So you're expecting a shootout.
I like the kickers too.
Like the kickers, I like the defenses. I like Nico Collins, and I like Kenneth Gainwell.
Historically, the toughest place to kick field goals in Pittsburgh, for what it's worth. But you're also just saying that it's going to be first touchdown wins, 16-13 kind of game. Is that what you're expecting?
Yeah, I just think Houston is probably the best defense in the league. Houston or Seattle, I think, are the two that I would have it between. And I just don't trust Pittsburgh's offense to do anything whatsoever. And I think Pittsburgh's defense is better than Houston's offense is. And so I don't expect them to do a ton either. But I do think Houston will move the ball a little bit better.
Again, more in depth on the football in 25 minutes. You got beer and you have chop. Anything else for the road here, Noto, or shall we just step aside and get out of here?
Golf's back this week, so me and STL and TJ will be on tomorrow.
Was there a mistake? I saw they're playing in Hawaii, and you know what? It says 5 a.m. is lock time. That doesn't make sense to me because aren't they 5 hours behind?
Yeah, they
it's
usually
not starting at midnight, right? That seems weird.
They
Something
usually
on the clock.
Set it like that, and then they push it back. They just when the first contests first come out, they'll just set it way early.
Okay, I did see one of the contests in the DK lobby, and when do you guys do the golf show? Tuesday nights?
Yes, sir.
All right, more content.
What's your football take, Dean?
On the game tonight, I think it's going to be. I do feel like kind of first touchdown wins, and if anybody gets to 20, they win. I don't know if anybody's getting to 20, but somebody's going to make a big defensive play, and that's going to be a difference in the game. I got Houston winning 17-13.
I like that. Are you going to play any Showdown tonight?
I'm going to play. I haven't figured it out just yet, to be honest. I hate kickers and captain, but I understand the point you're making. And I think nobody plays kickers and captain. You probably looked at the Sims, and it's probably simming pretty well. Is that true? I've not looked at that yet. I'm
kicker captain. I like Kenneth Gainwell captain. I like not going to be overly high owned today at all. I did have to keep asking you that though because you
didn't give the credits. You were just buying time
right now. I'm filibustering. But we did have another question from CW893 in chat as well. You want Shed and Barlow or Tyrese Martin and Kada, Noto?
Second one.
Shed and Barlow or what?
Or Tyrese Martin and Kada.
I don't know. I like Shed more than the most of the 4. I don't really like the other 3 guys though.
So I feel
TJ, I thought you were genuinely curious in my opinion. I was flattered. I'm like, wow, TJ
is both. I would love to know, but I kind of had a feeling you were going to say I don't know yet. So a lot of it was filibustering, but I am interested in your opinion because you've had a great DFS season, Dean. I want to know about it.
Oh, geez. Can you just yammer for 30 minutes so I can finish this out? Are we good to go as far as credits? Now, who cares what I think about anything, which is fair. But now you're good to go, TJ. We can step aside.
We are very close. They are made, and they are just in the process of uploading to YouTube.
All right.
But it keeps doing this thing. I think the reason I don't have the credits is because the last time we were together, it didn't like the credit I uploaded, and it just did some weird one with 3 other people. And now it's telling me I tried to upload a file that already exists. So I have a bad feeling that the Dean Noto credits might not actually be us. And we're going to have to wait and see.
By the way, Infinite wants to know if you could play Claxton and Cash on FanDuel. Do we like Claxton and Cash? No, I think Claxton's fine.
He's not a cash guy for me, but he like gets 15 or 40. He's, I don't know, more of a tournament guy for me.
TJ,
I'd rather go Nurkic if you have the 300.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Can we step aside, TJ? Or are we still stalling? We still filibustering?
No, we're all good. We're all good. Now we're just going to cross our fingers that the credits actually have our 3 names on it and not 3 other people.
Alexander the Don said, did you guys say that there's an NFL Showdown show? Yes, there is. 23 minutes, give or take. We're going to get beer and chop. They're talking about Pittsburgh and Houston. That was notorious. That was TJ spinning all the plates and confirmed the greatest DFS player, at least in Saskatoon. We don't know about Saskatchewan just yet. I was Dean. Go win something tonight. Come back in 20 minutes. We're out of here. Holler.